Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've had people both in the comments as well as in real life ask about, why I'm always throwing Innova or Innova made discs, and there's been some concern that I might be biased. And I just want to say that nothing can be further from the truth. So I've decided to prove these critics wrong today by playing with anything but Innova discs. So in this bag are 17 to 18 discs, putters, mid-ranges, and drivers that are made by other manufacturers, and I think you might find the discs that I have here pretty interesting. It's getting pretty hot, so I'm going to go ahead and take this hoodie off. Ah, that's much better. And I want to thank Sean for letting me borrow a number of these discs. For some reason, I gave him a lot of my discs that aren't from Innova, and he graciously agreed to let me have them back. So first of all, let's go through the putters. My primary putting putter is from Seeker Discs. It's the Enchanter, and it's actually one of my favorite non-Innova putters. It feels great in the hand. The grip is very tacky. Even though this is a base plastic, it's very much a good putting putter and a short distance throwing putter. Love that a lot. Got an Armadillo. This is a great approach disc here. I've got an Eric Oakley Tour Series Berg, and this will be interesting to compare these two. I've got a Latitude 64 Sarek. This is a discontinued disc, but it's great for throwing. It's also good for putting. This here is a Sockibomb Slammer, first run. And this one is a beefy boy. It's pretty stable, and I'm going to enjoy that. But something even more beefy than that is a Stego. So I've added that to the mix. Moving on to the mid-ranges, I've got an Axiom Hex here. Man, it is getting hot. Didn't realize how hot it would be. And we have a MD3 by Discmania, a Pyro by Axiom. The last mid-range is a Gateway Element in diamond plastic. All right, next up we have the fairway drivers, and I'm going to start it off with the DGA Vortex. This is the Katrina Allen First Flight edition here, and this one is somewhat understable, but in my arms I can get a fair amount of distance with it in the right conditions. For something with a tiny bit more stability here, we've got this Mint Discs Jackalope. This is a control driver. It's a tiny bit faster, tiny bit more stable, and this is what I will probably rely on a lot today. For a little bit more distance and potentially more fade at the end is this Discraft Mantis Z plastic. That's something that you'll see me throw a fair bit. Experimentally, I'm going to try these 9-speed drivers next, and this is the Prodigy H5 hybrid driver in 400 plastic, and this one I could probably theoretically get the most distance here out of all the discs that I have, but very close to that is this Gateway Spear. I think this is also the diamond plastic, and this one was given to me by Houston Darts Discs and Games. Thank you, Cindy. This is the Bullseye to Baskets first annual stamp edition at Northside Church, and this one here I predict I should get really good distance with a decent amount of stability at my arm speed, and you'll see me throw this multiple times today, I'm sure. Next up is this AGL Locust. This one is actually a bit more stable than, in my experience, than the numbers suggest. So I'll be throwing this in headwinds. And then last but not least, unfortunately, Vibram no longer produces golf discs, but this is the Notch. And this one is supposed to be the most stable disc that I've got, but it's a little bit sun-baked and a little bit deformed, but I definitely wanted to highlight this disc because I've thrown it decently in the past. So with that said, let's see what else we've got here. I've got minis. Oh, here's my Innova Mini. I'm now going to be using this MVP Mini, and that's really about it. So with that said, oh crap. All right, this is better. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and okay, now that I have everything sorted out, let me explain the rules of this challenge. Rule number 1, I have to use every disc that I have selected here. It's roughly 17 discs or so. I can't count that high, but my guesstimate is 17. And number 2, I can't use that any disc unless I've thrown all the others in that category before it. So I've got, say, 7 fairway drivers. I can't use this one again until I go through all the other fairway drivers. The mid-ranges, I can't use the same mid-range twice unless I go through all the other mid-ranges. Same thing with the approach discs. The only exception to this rule is the putting putter. I'm going to use a putting putter for all my putts, but if I do use it as a throwing putter, I can't use it again as a throwing putter unless I go through the other options. So hopefully with that clear, I've picked out the spear to use for this because we have a little bit of a head and the headwind just dropped. So I'm going to choose the H5, and I may do 2 off the tee here. We'll just see how it goes. All right, and the basket is just to the right here, to the left of this tree that you can barely see. I'll try to put an indicator there. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah, I need to do 2 off the tee because I didn't do that right. In fact, just to be honest, I may take a mulligan for any throw that I truly screw up, because the point here is to show what these discs can do, not how badly I can throw. So if I screw up, it's not the disc fault. That was great. I still threw that wrong, but I mean, all things told, it was a good throw. All right, this H5 was a little bit better than I expected, so let me try to upshot with this Berg. I think I can putt that. All right, unfortunately, I've given myself a 25-footer, and I've got it's not a headwind, but it's like a side cross headwind. Anyways. Okay, so the basket is that away. You see those 2 trees at the very end? It's just to the right of the second tree. So I'm going to try the DGA Vortex. I'm going to see what I can do with these crazy tailwinds. Apparently throw dead straight. Okay. Okay, so the good news is that was a great throw. The bad news is it's not under the basket. So with that said, I'm going to try another approach disc. This is the Armadillo. Oh, okay. I got a putt. It looks like it might even be a touch closer than the last one. All right, the good news is I got a little closer. So, all right. Basket is just to the left of that tree here that's in line with the tee pad. I'm gonna throw the Discraft Mantis before the wind hopefully appears. You know what? That was a bad throw, but it's probably going to be better than this next one. But let me see if I can correct. Let me try a more overstable disc. Whichever one of these I use, that will be taken out of the rotation. There we go. That's a lot more what I wanted. That was a fantastic throw. Probably the best throw I've made on this hole ever. Okay, that's no exaggeration. This is legitimately the best drive I've ever made on this hole. Just to let you know, I'm not even scoring this on UDisc. This is the video production, so I'm not trying to pad any stats by 2 off every tee. That's fine. Good run. You know, that's one of the responsibilities we have as YouTubers, is we could basically create a million one takes, but I'd rather just show everyone what a rec level player can do and learn from the experience. Okay, now the wind's kicking up a little bit. I've used up my most overstable driver, so I'm going to resort to the Vibram notch. This technically should be the most stable driver, but this is a little bit slightly warped and deformed, so it may be less stable than its original numbers implied. It's basically pushing pretty hard this way, about 20 miles per hour. Let's just see. And you can't see the basket, but if you see this tree here with the bush, it's literally right behind that tree on the other side. You can't see it. All right, now I'm going to throw. Okay. Let me try a good throw. Actually, to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to have any good throws with the wind like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully give you guys a better. That's a lot. Oh, I kicked that way high. Man, that sucks. Okay, that sucks. The only good news is I get to use this in a subsequent throw. But for now, I'm going to use this Sockibomb Slammer to try to get towards the basket. That's about 140 feet out. And the wind's kicking up. Terrible throw by me. Let me try one more. Let me see if I can fix this with the Stego. Well, that's an improvement. All right, well, I'll do this better than the Sockibomb Slammer. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Now let's see if I can drain a putt. Nope. All right, I'm running low on discs I can use. Basket is straight ahead up there. I'm going to throw my Gateway Spear. Heck yeah. Okay, so if I can rethink what I did with the spear, I should have turned it with a slight bit more ante to where maybe it would have gotten more distance and landed in the middle of the fairway. That said, I threw it dead flat and it's just a big old disc at my level, so it had a good amount of fade. Gonna try the Sarek just to get it kind of closest to the basket. Oh yeah, I got a putt. All right, so just so you know, I forgot to bring my putting putter, so I'm going to putt with the Sarek. Fortunately, this is a good putting putter. And just so you know, I'm actually using my Zuka cart for this. I returned my backpack to the trunk of my car, and I put all the discs in this, and you'll see the side pockets are where I'm storing the discs I've thrown, and a little bit of extras that I'm moving off to the side there. Okay, we've now made it to my Nemesis hole, and unfortunately, I have to play through it. So I run out of fairway drivers that I can use on this hole that I would trust. So I'm going to go with a mid-range. It's been a while since I've used some of these mid-ranges too, so I'm going to use this Hex and see how this goes. Hopefully I can get it through the gap. Looks like I can. Holy crap. That actually went in front of the basket, not like it was going to hit the chains, but it's probably like 5 feet shy of the basket of hitting the chains. Well, isn't perception something? This actually didn't come near as close as I thought it was. This disc is about 20 plus feet from the basket, so it's not nearly as close as I thought it was. So that's kind of a learning experience about perspective. Okay, the basket is at the end of the tunnel there. So all I'm going to try to do, my play here, considering I don't really have the distance to get a straight shot all the way to there, is get somewhere maybe about half the distance. So that's perfect for a mid-range like this. I've got the MD3. I'm just going to throw it straight. Hopefully the wind doesn't push it too far to the left too early. Oh yeah, that is a fairway hit, my friends. Okay, so the only approach disc I have left is a Sockibomb Slammer, and that's not the throw for this hole. So I'm going to use my putting putter as a throwing putter. So I won't be able to use this anymore until I use the Sockibomb Slammer. Then all the putters are up for grabs. Oh yeah. Oh, got a putt. Okay, so the good news is I've got a putt. The bad news is it's an obstructed one that's maybe a little bit too long for me to do a straddle. That said, I can't argue with the throw. It was a good throw. Missed it. All right, so that was embarrassing. Ooh, that would have been more embarrassing if I missed that one. Okay, I'm down to 2 drivers left, so I'm going to try this Jackalope. And now I'm dealing with it's weird. The wind should be coming that way, but it's actually coming more that way, so that's weird. All right, hopefully I can get a decent throw. Holy crap. Okay, that was a great throw for me. The basket, incidentally, is way around the corner. You can't see it. Funny thing is, as I was putting out there, I talked with someone that just aced hole 6 prior to me being there, and no one was around to witness it. So that was one of the things. He just had to vent. It's like, got an ace, and no one was there to see it. Anyways, that's a hole I rarely birdie, much less ace. All right, you can see the basket. It's on the other side of this tree. I've got a significant side cross wind for me, so I'm going to throw the Slammer, Sockibomb Slammer. Hope I get it. Hope it fights the wind and I give it enough power to reach it. Oh, that was terrible. I mean, for the disc, it was a good throw. I threw it that way instead of that way. So I got to use it. Okay, so there is no good news here. 40 feet from the basket, I'm now dealing with a side wind here, and making this basket is practically impossible. That was a good shot. Okay, I've got 3 discs left to use in this challenge, fairway driver and 2 mids. So I'm going to go ahead and throw off the tee here, the longest hole of the course. Oh yeah, it's out there. Okay, so that tailwind helped to show the stability of the Vibram notch. So now I've got a really long throw ahead that I can't reach with this disc, but I'm gonna try the element, just see how far I can get. So I threw that too low, unfortunately. 1 disc left. Unfortunately, I left myself about 80 feet out, so I'm gonna use the last disc, the Pyro, to get it as an approach disc. And it's under the basket. Okay, probably about average score for me, but let me go ahead and give you my summary of what happened. Alrighty, so what else can I say about these discs that you didn't really get to see in flight? They're all good discs. Even the Vibram notch, as deformed as it was, threw as I expected it to, though with a little bit of a help from some headwind. They felt good in the hand. There weren't any there that felt weird or like unusual. So, and I made an effort to pick discs that fit certain slots that gave me all the possible types of shot shapes that I wanted to use in a round, and I succeeded there with the help of Sean, of course. So I have to say, definitely consider other discs. I know I am a little bit of an Innova diehard, but I have found a lot of other discs other than Innova. It's just what I typically put in my cart is Innova, because I spent a few years dialing everything in. But if a disc goes missing, I throw it into a lake or I give it to a friend, you know, to replace one of their discs. I have backups, and I don't necessarily need to get something from Innova, provided I get something that fills that essential shot shape, at least for someone at my level. Maybe at the pro level, you have to be a lot more differentiating between certain discs, but at my level, the recreational disc golf player, had a lot of fun with these. I think any of these would be something for you to consider, and I was glad I had a chance to do this. So with that said, I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as I have more interesting disc golf content on the way. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.